Hi, everybody. I'm live. How exciting. I've never done a YouTube live before. This is very spontaneous. I'm just hopping on to give it a try and see if people show up. I guess you'll get a notification that I'm live now. There's nobody there yet. So I'm just going to talk to myself for a minute just to see how this goes. I thought if I was going to take the trouble to go on and see how YouTube Live works, then I might as well do a little session with you. If there's 4 of you there right now. So let's just do a couple little exercises together. Because why not, right? Okay, so what I want to do with you first, hi, Linda. Anybody else can feel free to say hi so I don't feel so alone here. All right, you guys are going to be an experiment. Are you ready? What I want you to do is pay attention to the sound I'm about to make. Now, these are weighted forks, so you're not really going to hear them. This one is 54.81 hertz. This one is 62.64 hertz. And the difference between the two is 7.83 hertz. That is the Schumann Resonance. And that is also your brain waves at the alpha theta cusp. And that's a state of being very quiet inside, listening deeply, and even starting to move into a state of unity consciousness, or sort of a blending with your environment kind of feeling. So we can't create a 7.83 hertz tuning fork because that would be really long. The lowest frequency tuning fork you can make is about 25 hertz, and even that is it's a really long fork. It's pretty unwieldy, and your wrist gets tired. But your human brain does a really weird thing, and that is if I play one sound in one ear and one in the other, your brain will entrain itself to the difference between the two. And that is the magic of binaural beats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate these, and I'm going to hold them up to my microphones. And I want you to close your eyes and tune in inside and see what you notice. Now, remember, you're probably not going to hear them. Okay, probably not going to hear them, but you might feel them. And I'm going to do this for maybe a minute. No, I'm going to do it till I feel like it's done, until it's worked its thing. Okay, so I want you to close your eyes and just get a sense of your baseline state right now. Breathe into your belly and breathe down into the ground. And just notice how you feel. All right, and now here come the tuning forks. Last one. Good. Okay. That's it. That's that experiment. So did you notice anything? Did you feel anything? Did anything shift? This is just an experiment because I'm curious, just like how much will come through when you don't hear it. So, okay, so now we've done that. Somebody drop me a comment. At least somebody say something. Did you feel anything? No, Eileen, we didn't feel anything. Oh, I felt my breath change. Did you feel it in your head? Did you feel it in your heart? Like, where did you feel that, if you felt it at all? Okay. I'm not getting any comment. You felt relaxed. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's the intention, right? I just made a whole bunch. The reason why I'm showing up here is because I just made a whole bunch of little videos, and I was about to start making some audios, but I'm in the middle of downtown Burlington, and every time I hit record, sirens go by. For some reason, Fridays are like super sirenry days. So I'm not getting anywhere. Is it better to wear headphones? Yeah, somebody else said, well, yeah, it might be better if you wear headphones. I see there's people just showing up. Linda, you're super tired and didn't notice much. Swimming upwards. Somebody else, yeah, I told you at the beginning you weren't going to hear it. It's all about feeling it. Because even if you can't consciously hear it, you're going to subconsciously receive that information. Now that there's more of you, I think I need to do it again. Do we want to do it again? Give it another try before we kick in the audible. So you're not going to hear it, but you might feel it. And if you're going to feel it anywhere, you're going to feel it in your head or your heart. And several people have commented that they felt like they were levitating. So maybe that will give you some information about what to look for. Okay, I'm going to do it again. For those of you that missed it, I see Will Edwards, you're there. Small vibrations above my crown. Okay, put on earbuds. I'll give you a moment to go find your earbuds wherever they are if you think that might improve your experience. But remember, this work I have conducted successfully with people where we don't even have a line of communication open, like no phone, no nothing. Like I can do sound therapy on people and they don't hear it, but it affects their state. Okay. So don't get hung up if you don't hear, because I'm also kind of imagining everybody's head right in front of me. And it's like, I've got the tuning forks on either side of your ears. So that's what I want you to imagine. It's like I'm holding these up to either side of your ears. Okay. All right. No, you don't need your own fork for this, but thanks for asking. Hi, Willie from Ireland. Okay. So I'm going to do this again, maybe for like a minute. So again, kind of close your eyes, check in with your body, breathe into your belly, exhale down into the ground. Just kind of see how you feel in this moment. And then we'll see what this does. Okay, last one. Okay, there you go. How do I use the purchase session? Well, you sent a response, but no response. Send another email. Usually my customer service is right on it. They're usually back with you in 2 days, so try again. But the way that you do it is you just listen to it. You listen to it through headphones, you listen to it through speakers, you listen to it sitting up, lying down, any way you like. But you pay attention, right? The more you pay attention, the more you hear. Okay, so let's see. Somebody felt it in their heart. Who else felt it anywhere? Did anybody feel that sort of sense of lifting, or maybe a sense of more light in your being? Yeah, lifted by bubbles. Isn't that interesting? So sound actually has levitational properties. If you go on YouTube and you look up acoustic levitation, you're going to find like little tiny styrofoam balls hanging out in space because sound waves are keeping them lifted. That's why, when you go out, listen to music and you want to dance around, it's because sound waves fall upwards. They have levity. I remember sitting very close to a steel drum band once and really feeling like all the cells in my body just doing this with the music. So, if you're ever feeling down, sound will lift you up. If you, the right kind of sound. Actually, I live here in Burlington, and F-35s, Burlington, Vermont, have a base here. And so we have F-35s flying over all the time. And that kind of sound doesn't lift you. Like that kind of sound flattens you. Oh, and then there's a plane right there. So just talked about a plane and it showed up. Okay, waves of energy all through my energy field going up and down. Felt an energy tornado spiraling down and through my neck and spine. I could feel the vibrations, kind of intense actually. Nice. Cool. That you weren't expecting that to happen today, Will, were you? Okay, guys, so this was it. I'm probably going to do like a more formal one of these that I'll announce, and maybe with some kind of special intentional healing. Let me know, like, what are you struggling with? Like, what kind of problems have you got going on that you need solved? Are you losing hope? Are you sick? Like, I want to know what kind of need there is out there, because really I find that tuning fork healing can really address a lot of stuff, and if you approach it with an open mind and a willing spirit, it can actually produce some pretty neat outcomes for people. I know I've been receiving it for years now, and it's been great for me and great for the people that I see around me that are doing it. So, and if you just kind of stumbled on here, you can learn more at biofieldtuning.com. Okay, let me read some of these. Sleep issues, big time. Okay, Linda, we're actually releasing a 30-minute recording, I think it's next week, on sleep. It was the most boring session I've ever recorded. So it's just a 30-minute recording. It's just tuning forks. I had to record it in 3 segments. I had to keep pausing it because it was so boring and so tiring to record. So that is available next week at the Biofield Tuning Store, and will be in your Biofield Tuning newsletter. If you aren't already signed up for my newsletter, you can do that at biofieldtuning.com. And, I've got some other cool things that we're going to be releasing over the next month or so. Been inspired for some different ideas. So, if you're interested in this kind of thing, sign up so that you know what's being released when. Okay. Chance says, I healed a serious, long-lasting shoulder injury with a sonic slider in almost no time at all. Yeah. Okay. So somebody wants to know the frequencies of the forks. The frequencies are the Schumann resonance. So the average frequency of the Schumann resonance is around 7.83 hertz. So one of them is 7.83 times 7, 54.81. And the other is 7.83 times 8, which is 62.64. And these forks are available at the Biofield Tuning Store. And, you can induce this yourself. Obviously, if you have your own forks, you can hang out whenever you want and put yourself into that entrained brainwave state. There's all kinds of devices coming out. I noticed ads for them, these bands that you wear around your head, and they shift your brainwaves. But guys, we're exposed to so much electromagnetic man-made energy everywhere. Like, do you really need to be wrapping it around your head too? I don't think so. So I like to go low tech and acoustic. I think that's the body likes that best. And so if we want to put ourselves into that relaxed, aware, present place where the monkey mind isn't going off, something as simple as this can actually do the trick. And what's cool about these is that they're multifunction. They don't just shift your brain waves. You can use them together, like if you've got pain somewhere, you can place them really anywhere on your body, and the coherent input just feels really good to the body. The body likes the Schumann resonance. We've been, all of life is bathed in this background pulse that's always going on. And when we're in urban environments, when we're in front of a lot of devices and things like that, our body loses touch with that signal. So the sonic slider is actually 7.83 times 12. It's 93.96 hertz. I had one floating around here somewhere. There it is. Ta-da! That's the sonic slider. And that makes, this is actually like the most pleasing of all of them. I had prototypes made of every single overtone. And I'll tell you what, the 11th and the 13th, oh my God, they were terrible. They felt so awful. But the 12th feels really, really good. Almost to everybody, right? There's just something about that earth vibe that our body really grooves on. Somebody's getting some forks tomorrow. You got my newest book. Yay. I hope you guys are enjoying my book. Anybody else who's reading it? Cats love the sonic slider. Yeah, lots of cats love the sonic slider. And many dogs do too. If you haven't tried using forks on your pets, some freak out and run away. Don't chase them if that's the case, because they know what they like and what they don't like. You want them to come to you. If you're ever going to use them on your pets, make sure they smell them first and lick them and do whatever they want to do so that they understand the fork before you go after them with it. I actually cured a dog of fear of thunderstorms. Now, this is something I've done repeatedly, but it was really noteworthy because a friend of mine, a new friend at the gym, was telling me about how she'd been up all night with her dog who was scared of thunderstorms and shaking in her bed and been like that for 11 years. And I was like, well, let me do an experiment and I'll do a little tuning on him and then let's see what happens. And so I did 15 minutes at a distance on this dog. And And then a couple days later, I went into the gym. She comes running up to me and she's like, oh my God, you're not going to believe this. She's like, there was a thunderstorm a couple of nights ago. And, I woke up to the thunder, and usually the dog is in my bed and it's shaking, and I've got to like turn on music and lights and all this stuff to keep it quiet. She said, I woke up and heard thunder and the dog wasn't even in the bed. She's like, the dog was on the floor and it wasn't moving at all. She said, I've never seen anything like it. She's like, how is this even possible? Right. So, and then there was another thunderstorm apparently 2 days later, and the same thing, like the dog did not react at all. So she was totally astonished. Right. So how can this be the placebo effect, you guys? If a dog that doesn't even know that I'm working on him has a complete state change in the way that he responds to thunderstorms, right? There's something real here. If animals are having this response, but people do too, people do too. Okay, kids love them. Where to buy in Europe? You can't buy them in Europe. You have to buy them from the States, and you have to pay too much for shipping and random large amounts for taxes too. I'm really sorry about that. There's nothing I can do about that. So no hope for the future in light of the state of the world. Yeah. I mean, who really thinks that we're going to get out of here alive? None of us will get out of here alive. And it's, it's a big frightening mess. But it's also, I think it's important that we don't take it too seriously, that we don't let it suck like the light and the life and the love and the juice out of us, because there's still so much to enjoy, right? Like I dragged my whole team, well, not my whole team, but 3 members of my team out of the office yesterday to go get soft serve ice cream together. It's a beautiful day. It was 88 degrees. I'm like, we need to have ice cream right now. And so we did, right? So please keep finding ways to enjoy life, to get the most out of it, to not let it take you down, Don't take it that seriously that it sucks you under. We need to keep our spirits up, and we need to help, others are just all going to go down the drain together in a miserable kind of way. Who wants to do that, right? Don't forget about the levity of sound to help keep you up. I hope to interview you on my podcast. How can I get in touch? Email info@biofieldtuning with your request. Thanks for wanting me on your podcast. Let's see what else is here. I wanted to see what else you guys wanted to know about. I told you the frequencies of the forks. We need an antidote for fear. Yeah, I think that's a really big thing. Okay, I'm just going to talk about one more thing. Oh, and I'll do one more little tuning for you too. Okay, and that is that when I've been doing sessions with people, what I've discovered and colleagues that I've spoken to, we're all finding the same thing. When I start working above the head, so in biofield tuning, the first thing that we do is we activate the central channel of the torus. So we go below the feet and we activate the energy center that draws up the negative charge from the earth. And we go above the head and we activate the center that draws down the positive charge from the atmosphere and from the sun. Okay. What I'm finding in just about everybody is that the descending current, the positive current, is so much stronger than the ascending current. It's just, it's a lot of things. It's the man-made electromagnetic pollution in the air, in the environment. It's a lot of the rules and the under the thumb, and you got to do this and you got to do that. And so there's just a huge amount of down pressure on people and very little upward flow, right? So if you've been feeling tired and that's what's going on with you, okay? And the cure is to get outside in bare feet and to very consciously draw energy up into us. Okay, that's one thing that will help. Bouncing around, dancing, anything that induces levity is going to help that upward current. The other thing that I'm finding when I'm listening to people's heads is that everybody, I mean, really without exception, is just so much static around the head. And then there's this whole background thing of fear. And when we introduce fear into the collective, it makes the field jump around. And so when people are afraid, they don't see clearly, right? We see lots of evidence out there of people who are afraid, not seeing clearly, not seeing the truth of what's going on. And this is a whole sort of collective thing. So So let's just take a minute, and I'm just going to do a little tiny tuning here to help clear the head. Okay. If you're feeling fuzzy headed, I keep forgetting things, like I don't know how many times during the day I look at my calendar. I'm like, what am I doing next? It just doesn't seem to stick. I think a lot of us are having that, just all these waves of information moving through our heads all the time, just kind of carry our thoughts and our memories away with them. And so this will just help a little bit to get your head more clear. Okay. So I want you to close your eyes. I want you to breathe in your belly. Breathe down into the ground. Again, get a little baseline of how you feel. And I'm going to activate the tuning fork and direct it at your head, just with the intention of clarifying and focusing the signal of the brain. Okay, there we go. Take a big breath. Just let the sound really come into the head, bounce around, do whatever it wants to do. Make sure you're breathing. I feel some of you holding your breath. I know you're listening carefully, but breath is a super important part of this. For those of you just coming on, we're working on your head. So close your eyes, tune in, and let your brain settle down. Okay, just a few more. Okay. All right. So that's just a little tiny bit there, but check in. Like you all feel just like a little more settled and a little brighter. Like that's my sense, just feeling in your energy. Everybody's a little more calm. And maybe when you open your eyes, you notice that the light was a little bit brighter, or you just kind of felt a little more bright, a little more lifted, and maybe a little bit more clear, right? So that's just a couple minutes. Like a whole hour of tuning can really shift up your state a lot. And if you're like me, I've had hundreds. I've received hundreds and conducted thousands. So I've had the very good fortune of having a very well-groomed electrical system. And the consequence of that is that you have a lot of energy. You know what I've noticed, kind of interesting, I was in a circumstance the other day where people were getting upset and yelling. And you know how when one person yells, it touches off another person, can really, and I felt so grounded and so unperturbed, so unmoved, so not caught up in it at all. And that felt really good, to just have the insulation and the resilience to just not get caught up in drama at all. So much of the drama that we indulge in is really just a habit. It's a waste of energy and a waste of time. And we're addicted to it. I think culturally, we're addicted to struggle. We're addicted to drama. And we end up pouring huge amounts of energy into it. It's an investment with very little return. And, the older I get, the more I see that kind of emotional indulgence and unhinging and, falling apart really isn't helpful or necessary. And I'm not, me, I'm all about feeling our emotions, right? But I think that that the healthier we become, just the less stormy we are, and life becomes sort of more fun and easy and playful. So if you haven't ever had a full biofield tuning session yourself, definitely recommend it. I think that biofield tuning is definitely good medicine for what is going on in the world at the moment. Okay, guys, that is, oh wait, let me just see some of your newest comments. You relaxed. Beautiful bracelet, thank you. A friend of mine's moving and was getting rid of stuff and gave it to me. Coherent. How do I connect to my mail slot? I think that I need to do a, I'm going to do a session. That'll be one of my sessions actually coming up, is like getting connected to your inner guidance system. How do you determine the signal from the noise with regards to like the optimum voice of the guidance that you should follow, right? I've always noticed that when the guidance is good, and you follow it, the outcome is good. When the guidance is good and you don't follow it, the outcome is usually bad. And so learning how to discern what your optimum guidance is and what it sounds and feels like is a super important part of just navigating the world in a healthy way. All right, great. So thanks, guys, for jumping on here with me. I'll do another one, but I'll plan it and let you know in some way or another. It's great to connect. I hope those little tune-ups helped. And if you haven't yet, check out biofieldtuning.com or electrichealth.com. Okay, everybody stay well. Thanks.